Well, Aussie fight fans, this is an absolute treat right now because we're broadcasting from Old Mate's Pub here in New York City, and I'm joined by old mate Dustin Poirier, the former champion. Dustin, thanks for joining us, mate. What do you think? Australia,
thanks for having me, man.
New York's authentic Aussie pub.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Now, we've got these twisties here. Now, you told me you'd never heard of them.
Never heard of them.
We figured we might sample them. What do you reckon? They're
twisties?
Yeah, they're like these cheese puff kind of things. Yeah, have a crack at that. What do you reckon?
It's like a Cheeto in America.
Yeah. Good?
Yeah. Not good for you.
No, probably not. Hopefully we can have a...
It's like a Cheeto.
Yeah, they might be able to have a crack over here. But Dustin, it's been a year and a half, just about, since your last fight at UFC 302. What you been up to? How's life been treating you?
You're staying busy, man. You know, retired now, so days are long.
Yeah.
But it's been good, you know.
Yeah. I did see that you said a little while ago that you're missing the fight game a little bit. Has that been tough to readjust to?
Yeah, man. Nothing, I don't think anything's ever going to fill that void of fighting. You know, I've fought since I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
19 years of straight fighting, and then you just... In my mind, I thought when I retired, it was going to be a relief. Like,
yeah.
But it wasn't. It wasn't. So I miss it, you know, but I'm just trying to keep my mind busy every day.
How have you been doing that?
Good, man. Being a dad. My wife's about to give birth to my son in a couple weeks.
Amazing.
And my daughter's 9 years old, so, and I have businesses back home. So I'm always busy, you know. I'm almost more busy now than I was when I was fighting. Because when I was fighting, I could shut things down and just focus on the fight, kind of block out everything. Now it's, I have to face all the everything.
Right. You can just compartmentalize things.
Right. But it's good, man. Life's good.
Because that's something that you hear not only former fighters talk about, but just professional athletes across codes and stuff, right? Like, we deal a lot with rugby league players back home, and they've spoken at length about, like, sort of needing to find a sense of purpose after their athletic career. I mean, it seems to be something that you're handling quite well, though. I'm trying to navigate it. You know, it's still new to me. You know, it's only been a few months, and like I said, I have a lot of things that keep me busy, keep my mind busy. I have places to be, and I just want to stay connected to the sport, though. You know, I miss fighting. I still try to go to the gym a couple times a week, and I just miss the camaraderie of being on the mats with the guys and having a fight coming up, looming over me. You know, it's the way I live my life for almost 20 years, you know, with a date circled on my calendar, getting ready to be the best and fight another man one night. So I'm just trying to... Nothing's ever going to fill that, like I said, but I'm just trying to find things that I can really dive into and that takes all of me, you know? Yeah, but you're still involved as well, like you're doing analyst stuff with the UFC now, and you must be enjoying that. I love it, man. I love it. I let them know, like, any opening, any opportunity they have for me to work the desk and talk about fights, please call me, because I love being connected to it. Yeah, no, that's incredible. And you did mention, though, that something that might pique your interest in the near future could be a boxing match, potentially against your old mate Nate Diaz. We never got to see that fight. I would love to whip him up, man, slap him around, but, you know, when I retired from the UFC, I still have maybe 4 or 5 fights left on my contract, so I'm not free to just go and box, you know, I can't. I mean, Zuffa boxing's a thing. I'm sure they would mind. But with Zuffa boxing, I don't think they're going to, because this would be a mess if they start allowing MMA guys and guys under the contract to start boxing. I think they want to keep it pure boxing. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, makes sense. Well, the reason we're here, obviously, in New York City, we're looking ahead to UFC 322 this weekend at Madison Square Garden. Our guy, it's Jack Della Maddalena in the main event. I mean, this is obviously a city that means a lot to you, I'd imagine. This is where you submitted Michael Chandler. Talk to me a little bit about the honor of fighting in New York City at MSG. No, I mean, I'm so thankful that I got to fight one time at MSG before I laid the gloves down. You know, it's such a historic place. The greats fought there. I mean, I remember warming up, being in the locker room, and then walking down the hall to enter the arena to fight in the octagon, and seeing the pictures on the wall. I mean, the greats fought there. So much history in that building. It was really an honor to compete there, man. And you couldn't have performed better on the night. Fight of the night, and you pulled off the submission. Fight of the night, the first guy to sub Michael Chandler. Mike Tyson came into my locker room. Yeah. He wanted a picture, you know, before the fight. So it was just kind of, it was surreal. Yeah, for sure. And it would have been an absolute dream come true. Are you working with Michael now on that film coming up? I was. No, we already did it. Yeah. So long days on set, man. Yeah, right. Were you guys in the same scene? So you were there together? We don't have any scene. Well, actually, maybe a couple that were standing by each other. But, I mean, when you're filming a movie of that scale, dude, it's like you're 13, 14 hours on set every day. So we had to break the ice and talk. And okay, cool. Was that awkward?
At first it was, but it was cool. It was cool. Yeah, because there was a bit of animosity in the cage afterwards, right? not only in the cage, just in general. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is.
Time heals all.
Right. And he's actually, I always talk shit about him, and he was actually a really cool guy.
Yeah, individually, you guys are great to chat to. So there's no reason, I guess, that you guys can't get
Yeah, it was cool.
Especially post-retirement. But Jack Della Maddalena, our guy this weekend, are you impressed with what he's been able to do in the UFC thus far?
Of course. Big fan of his. Just this matchup, man. It's a tough one to pick.
Oh yeah.
I know Islam's the favorite on the bookies and stuff, but dude, this is a close fight. This is a close fight. It's going to come down to Jack's takedown defense, his wall work, his ability to get his combinations and his striking off without forgetting about his, takedown defense. Those guys, Islam, Habib, those style of fights are tough puzzles to figure out, man.
I remember was it UFC 242 when you fought Habib over there in Abu Dhabi? You said that you were stunned by not only how good his grappling was, but what struck me as something that you said was you were impressed very much by his knowledge of balance and weight distribution and where exactly his positioning needed to be. What was your sole focuses when you were preparing to fight Habib and, of course, Islam Makhachev?
When I was prepping for Habib, it was just wrestling. The whole training camp was wrestling.
Yeah.
It was wrestling heavy, and then it was a few years removed from that fight when I was getting ready for Islam, so I tried to take what I thought I learned in that camp and in that fight into this fight with Islam. And I had great training partners. Mateus Gamrot was one of my main training partners for the Islam fight, and my takedown defense was, I was good. I was ready. I had an injury going into the fight. I cracked my ribs a couple weeks before.
Before Islam?
Yeah.
Right.
But I was very prepared. It was good.
In the post-mortem of both fights, what do you feel like you could have done better, and what, if any, advice would you give to Jack?
Hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah,
looking back, every fight, even when I win, I was like, I could have done better. But I wish I would have took more chances. I gave him too much respect, and I've done that in a couple fights against these high-level guys. Just throughout the 8-9 weeks of training camp, you kind of obsess over what they're so good at. You forget about what you're good at.
Yeah, right.
It's easy to do. I think Jack needs to trust what got him there. Still believe in his stand-up. Still believe in his athleticism. Everything he does well. Like I said, it's a puzzle, man. These guys are a puzzle. The thing when you're fighting these guys is they can make you less of a striker because you're so worried about the takedowns.
Yeah, right.
And I know Jack. That's where if he wins, he's going to win the fight there on the feet. He's going to hurt Islam with a big shot or something. But to find that range and to get those shots off and to take the chances when you're worried about the takedowns, that's the thing. Can he do that?
Well, I think he was able to do that against Bilal Muhammad in Canada, right? Because he was greatly overlooked before that fight, not only stylistically, but the fact that he hadn't gone 25 minutes before. All the odds were seemingly stacked against him, but he just went in there, did his thing as a massive underdog, and performed. Right. Were you impressed by that?
Of course I was. And honestly, that was a great test for him to fight Islam, because Bilal's a heavy grappler, big guy, good top game. So to pass that test, that's got to give him a lot of confidence going into this fight.
Can I ask, as a fighter, is that actually beneficial? Like, how much of those skills are transferable? I know they're both very strong offensive grapplers, but I mean, their styles on the ground are very different.
Oh yeah, completely different. But that momentum of beating a grappling heavy guy, going into another similar fight, it's got to give you confidence. Yeah.
When you look at Jack and you analyze him tactically, what are you most impressed by? I mean, I know his stand-up's obviously his biggest strength, but specifically when you look at him,
he's just a gritty guy. Seems almost like an old school cut from that cloth. Just a gritty guy, down to get ugly, down to fight. Great athlete, good hand speed, good punching power, good technique. He's a very dangerous fighter. No, I'm a fan.
Yeah. Do you think he wins this weekend, though?
I'm not going to be surprised if he does.
Yeah.
If he does win, I think it's going to be a finish. He's going to have to. I don't think he's going to win by submission. I don't think he's going to win a decision. Yeah. I think he has to finish Islam, and he has the tools to do it. It's just, we'll see.
No,
it's a tough one to pick for me.
Yeah, no, I think so too, and for all of Australia, I think they're certainly hoping for Jack's sake that does take place. Dustin, thanks so much for joining us here on Fox Sports. We can't wait to see the action that takes place this weekend. Hope you enjoyed the twisties, mate.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and
it's Cheetos, man.
Yeah, hopefully, we can get a bit more of those throughout the weekend. And a big thanks, of course, to all mates for having us here on Fox Sports Australia.